Hey guys, Nancy Sliger. Just wanted to go over some of the stuff concerning homeostasis and the human body with you. Um, Homeostasis is basically how the body's able to maintain itself, whether the external environment is changing or the internal environment is changing. And this is going to discuss, give examples of what those changes might be and how the body might respond to them. So, if we talk about how the human body is organized, and that's what scientists like to do, they like to classify living things. The smallest part of the human body, the basic level, is a cell. And when you have groups of cells working together to carry out the same function, then that's called tissues. And when layers of tissues work together to carry out a similar function, that's an organ. And when groups of organs work together, that forms an organ system. So you can have cells that make up your stomach, and those cells are all working together to form, doing the same thing. So that's called a tissue, which would be like the wall of your stomach possibly. And different layers inside of the stomach do different things. You have kind of the outer protective covering, but then on the inner layers of the stomach, you have structures called villi that help to secrete enzymes that digest food. And when all those tissues are working together to help digest the food, that becomes an organ in your stomach. But when your stomach works with the liver and the small intestines and the large intestines, then that helps to form the organ system that it belongs to. So what is homeostasis? It's the process by which organisms maintain a relatively stable internal environment. Because if you ask someone what their temperature is, it's usually around 98.6. So what makes you say 98.6 on the inside? There's several different systems working together to help you do that. Your muscles, even though you may be sitting someplace, some of them are contracting, which requires energy, and a byproduct of your cells breaking down food for energy is heat. Well, how does your muscular system, which is below the layer of your skin, help keep your skin warm? Well, that involves the circulatory system picking up some of the heat that's being generated by the muscles and taking it to the skin or to other parts of the body. So there's 11 organ systems that work together to help maintain homeostasis. And it keeps everything in your body kind of constant. So all the chemical processes that occur in your body to digest your food, to keep your heart pumping, to carry blood through your system, to allow the exchange of oxygen and CO2 in your lungs. It's all a very intricate balance, and a slight change can upset that. Because think about when you get a cold. Sometimes you run a fever. Sometimes it's just elevated 99 or 100 degrees. But that's enough temperature change to destroy some of the bacteria that might be causing you to become ill. So your body is very intricate in its functioning, and it works to keep everything at the right temperature so all those chemical reactions can happen efficiently and appropriately. Okay. So your brain is kind of like the thermostat. If you get too hot, it might tell you to stop what you're doing, drink some water, find shade, okay? So that is one way that your body helps to maintain homeostasis. On the flip side of that, if you're outside and it's super cold, your brain may tell you to seek shelter, put on a coat, move someplace warmer, create a fire. So that is all ways that your brain is working with your organ systems to keep you safe. Okay, so external changes can threaten the internal environment, and I just mentioned those. Getting too cold outside, if your core temperature drops, then blood starts shunting to your internal organs, and with that reduction of heat and stuff, that can cause hypothermia and so forth. So it all works together, and maintaining that balance is called homeostasis. These are some stimuli that may cause your body to react and to help maintain homeostasis, we've talked about colder environments. Organisms must carry out many chemical reactions to grow, obtain energy, and reproduce. And we must be able to breathe, produce heat, and do other tasks. And all of those, as I said before, require a relatively stable internal environment, a specific temperature, so all those chemical reactions can occur in your body to allow you to do these things. Organisms must be able to detect and respond to changes internally and externally. We've talked about some external changes. I've talked a little bit about one internal change, which would be the introduction of a bacteria to your body that might make you sick. The body can respond at the cellular level as well as an entire organismal level. Cellular level might be that once you have a bacterial infection, it will cause the white blood cells to seek out that bacteria, engulf it, and destroy it. At an organismal level, if you're running fever, you might try to cover up, drink water. So the homeostasis can be maintained or can occur at a cellular level as well as the entire organism. And if we don't respond to changes in the internal and external environment, it can result in the death of an organism. All right, so that gives you some examples there. I'm not going to go over all of this because you've got the notes. I'm just hitting the highlights. These are some other examples of if you become dehydrated, you have to drink water because it can affect the other body systems. Blood pressure can drop. You can start hallucinating. All kinds of things happen. So we're constantly subjected to stresses in the environment, and it requires multiple systems for us to maintain what we call our life or our ability to function. Okay. So the organs and the systems of the human body help to provide all of the cells with their basic needs. Each cell needs a constant supply of nutrients, oxygen, and once that food's broken down, there's waste products that have to be removed. Cells have to be protected from diseases. So with the exception of the reproductive system, the human body needs all of its systems to perform tasks that help stabilize and maintain the body's internal environment, which is meaning that it's maintaining homeostasis. The main components of homeostasis are concentration of salts, pH, nutrients have to be taken in, waste products removed, oxygen has to be taken in, carbon dioxide release, and the volume and pressure of the extracellular fluid has to be maintained. So concentration of salts, when you lose too much water, there's a higher concentration of salt in your cells and in your blood, and that creates problems. So you have to drink water, you have to become rehydrated. They may put you on IVs. You have to have oxygen for your cells to break down the food, and then a byproduct of breaking down the food is the carbon dioxide. It has to be moved out of the body, and this is just the amount of volume and pressure around your cells of extracellular fluid that helps them to function properly. So all 5 of those things have to be maintained for homeostasis to occur. No organ system can maintain homeostasis by itself, and the organ systems must work together. They must be synchronized in order for the human to survive. And then it's going to go through the examples of how the different systems work together to maintain homeostasis. Okay, and I'll let you read those on your own. Those are pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so you're going to have a test on Wednesday over homeostasis. I'm may post this the night before, and you'll have the access to watching it. You'll have a DAA tomorrow as a review, and then you'll have the test over homeostasis on Wednesday. Okay.